All right, worst home loss since 2011, that 54-10 loss to Utah. Now, guys, BYU fans need something to get excited about, some hope. They got a running back now, Ula Tolotau.
Yeah, Ula had 58 yards on 13 carries, averaged 4.5 yards per carry. He's definitely the bright spot to this game. Other than that, it was a rough one for sure.
Yeah, and he came out strong. You know, he came up strong in the Utah game. But this is the type of run game that BYU has to get to. You got to run power O. You got to get him downhill. You can't run this stretch crap. Get this power back in the right position.
Keep in mind, he's still coming off an injury. He had an injury all throughout fall camp. He's coming off an injury. But this is what I like about this. This is the second drive of the game. Look at BYU's offensive line driving out the ball, pushing Wisconsin's defensive line 3-4 yards down the field. And what does it result in? An 18-yard carry by Tolotau.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. But on the flip side, right, David?
You fast forward to the third quarter, and this is what happens. Wisconsin just grinds and wears you down, and what happens? You move on to the game, and eventually Wisconsin has their way. Look at it. They're 3-4 yards deep in the backfield. Ula still gets some positive yards on it, which is mind-boggling.
I don't even know how he got. He had guys in his face here, and he's getting a 1-yard gain. But this is where BYU needs to adjust. Stick to power run game. Stick to that pro-style run game with him. He's your featured back. Get him in space. When you try to run wide with people, it just doesn't work that way.
Exactly, and especially against Wisconsin, when you're facing those big boys, you have to do some weird blocking schemes like counters and powers and kind of keep them on their heels.
Yeah, but on the excitement side, right? New quarterback, Bo Hodge, and Micah Simon, a receiver that needs to get more involved. It's good to see him get some play.
Listen, I know a lot of people are giving Ty Detmer grief on his play calling. I love this. This is right before halftime.
Oh, huge.
25 seconds left. Most people would just take a knee, kneel it out before you go to halftime. Instead, he says, listen, we're dialing up a deep bomb. We're going vertical. And you're right, Micah Simon is one of those athletes. Here we see Bo has a little pocket. You see the Wisconsin defenders rushing outside to try to keep him in the pocket, but he does a fantastic job stepping up in it and delivering a dime across his body to Micah Simon.
No, it's a very experienced play, right? When you get pass rushers that run upfield, you got to step up through, very mature in his throw, but just good touch over the top to Micah Simon. But these are the type of plays that you're going to get with Bo Hodge, and he needs to kind of continue to replicate this. Good time for a bye.
Micah Simon was 60 yards, 3 receptions for 60 yards. This one was a 50-yarder, so big gain. But this was one of those plays that could have given BYU some momentum going to halftime. Yeah. But they came out at halftime and kind of stalled out, didn't score for the rest of the game.
Really struggled. But getting over to Hornibrook, right, and the BYU defense, let's give you the reason why he ended up going 18 for 19 on this day.
I know a lot of fans, including myself, are very frustrated at this. BYU continued to give up these long chunk plays, these long passes. Hornibrook was 18 of 19, couldn't be stopped. But a lot of it was because, look at this, 0 rush. BYU opted to go with 4 guys rushing and could not get any pressure in Hornibrook's face.
And if you go the other way, right, instead of just rushing 4 and leaving play action, where he has 4 seconds to deliver a ball, he can hit the timing route. You can actually get some pressure in his face. So whether you did games or you did some type of blitz or even playing a little more press man with the actual corners, it's a combination between all 3. He had all day to throw, and this is why he was so successful on the day.
And it's tough against Wisconsin. People are probably asking, well, why didn't Tuiaki do more blitzes? It's because they have a great run game as well. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor, the running back, is averaging over 200 yards a game. And so you kind of have to, you're on your heels in the sense that it's tough to run games up front, otherwise you'll be gashed in the run game. But in the passing game, you're leaving your DBs out to hang on the back end because you're not getting any pressure. So it's a catch-22 on that
exactly why you didn't see him rushing. This is where Wisconsin did their 10th ranked job in saying, hey, I'm adjusting. We have some exposure. We can expose them in the throw game, and they continue to do that.
The bright side, BYU has a bye week, so they can't lose this week. By going on to Utah State, we'll see if they can recover and get ready for Utah State.
Okay, the one thing I learned this past week, at East we call him Tulatau. And now we got the memo. It's Tolotau.
There it is.
All right.
Correct pronunciation. Good job, Rod.
Thank you. Thanks for the memo.